This video we are going treasure hunting, where our robot will detect the color. We will drive it left, right, stop, backward and forward until we reach a specific color that is randomly selected.
Look for red.
So we should drive this to the right color. It will announce the success.
Well done.
It will ask you to find the next color, and
Look for yellow.
we will drive it with the keyboard until we find the next color. Hi, welcome to a product tutorial by Robojax. This is SunFounder's PICAR-X Raspberry Pi self-driving robot car kit.
Hello friend, how are you? Turn left here. Count down to 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, rock. I lost.
Once you come to the SunFounder's documentation page, scroll down until you see kits, robot kits, and the first one, PICAR-X Car Kit version 2 with battery. This might change, so you will find this. Click, and on the left side select Play with Python. Then on the left side click on number 12, Treasure Hunt, and here is the documentation page. We will put a color on different corner, and here if you need to print different color sheet, this is a PDF, and we can print it and maybe put it on a stick or something at different corners. So these are all colors that is defined in the code. The code that we are going to run is number 12, treasurehunt.py, which is located inside PICAR-X and inside example. We could run it using SunFounder's create agent, but we are going to also run it from command line or from desktop, typing this command, whatever is the IP address, then colon, and then 900/MJPG. There is a code, and at the bottom of the code there are some explanations. These important notes at the bottom of the code. Initializing and import, so we are importing all the required libraries. Global variable, color and key are the global variable which are used throughout the code to track the target color and keyboard inputs. Renew color target, this function selects random color from the list as the target color for the detection. It also uses text-to-speech to announce the selected color. And then key scan target, this function runs in a separate thread and continuously scans for the keyboard input. Separate thread means this is called parallelism, and it will not have any effect on the current operation of other tasks. And update the key variable when the key is pressed. It uses log for thread safe access. And also car moves, I will explain this. This function controls the movement of the PICAR-X based on the keyboard input variable key. It sets the direction and speed of the robot's movement. And then main is the primary function that orchestrates the overall logic of the code. It does the following: initializes the camera start display and the camera feed, creates separate thread for the scan of the keyboard, announces the start of the game as a text-to-speech, enters as a continuous loop to check and detect the color object and trigger action when a valid object is detected, handle the keyboard input to control robot and interact with the game, handles quitting the game an exception like keyboard interrupt, and ensure that the camera is closed when Picarx is stopped when exiting. So using this project, we will learn the principle of detecting a certain color with the camera and taking action based on detection. In this case, we will select just to play a text, but it could be anything that you want. This is very interesting for learning. You will just put your finger like that. W is forward and then S is backwards, so backward and forward, and then right and left. If you want to read the target, just press space, it will read it for you. And now let me explain the code. From Picarx, we are importing Picarx class. From time, we are importing sleep. Then from robot hat, we are importing music and text-to-speech. And we are importing vision library, read character, and then random number and threading. And we create one object called PX from Picarx, and we are creating another object called music from music class, and TTS from TTS class, which we just imported above. This is the manual or text that is shown on the screen continuously on the console. W is for forward, A is left, S is backward, and D is turn right. You will just put your finger like that. W is forward and then S is backwards, so backward and forward, and then right and left. And if you want to read the target, just press space, it will read it for you. And to exit, we just press Control C. The color, the default color is red, and we have a list of color here. These are just a defined color, and we call it color list. This is just renewing color detect. This is one method which we call, and it will run. And this color, which is outside, we are defined it here as a global, so we can access it. And then we use random.choose, and then we pass this list. So this randomly selects something from here, and that color will be replaced when we call this method. And then using vision library, we say detect color, and we pass this color to it. And this text-to-speech, look for color. And it will read this text, and the color is the name of color, whatever that is extracted from the list randomly, or the first one. So this will read it every time we call this method. And then key is equal none, no key have been pressed, and this. Then threading lock is just locking the certain process so we can proceed. And then key scan thread, this will make sure that we are reading the key. This while true is a continuous loop, and whatever key is pressed, we are storing it in a variable called key temp, and then we print within a new line. This is a return or carriage return, and equal, and then we will print this text. If it is lock, then key temp lower, so we are getting this key and converting it to the lower case, and now we have a new key. Here, if the space is pressed, then we set the key to be equal space, and then later on we will see that when the space is pressed, it should pronounce the key. Else, if the Control C is pressed, then this key is equal to quit, and there is a break after this, and we have 100 milliseconds. Now, car move is a method when we call it with a key of W, which means go forward. This is a direction servo. So the direction servo is controlling this servo to go to the left or right. When we set it to 0, it goes straight, and here it sends the power to go forward. This motor will rotate in this direction, so it goes forward with 80%. If we press S, S means go backward. Again, the direction is 0, so this will be straight. And then it uses, this time instead of forward, we call backward with 80%. And here else if the key is A is the key that goes here. When we put your finger, A is left, so it goes to the left, and D is to the right. So if the key is equal A, then it's left. We set the direction servo minus 35, and minus 35 means left, and forward, it goes forward. And if it is D, then we are turning 35 degrees. So this is 0 and then 35 with 80% power. So the car move is just doing this. And then this try will call the main, otherwise the rest is just to exit from the screen and stop the camera, stop the car. Now, when we run the main, it comes in here, we get the key as a global variable. And then we start the camera with vertical and horizontal flip to be false. So we see the actual video, and then we use the vision library display to display it locally on our browser, on our desktop of Raspberry Pi, and also on the browser. If you set this to false, you see local is false and web is true. So we cannot see it locally. And then sleep with 0.8 second delay and print manual. So this will print all the instruction every time the main is called. Then we have 1 second delay, and then we read a thread. We set the target key, and this will be to the target, passes to this method, and then this will return it as a key T. So this is just taking care of the key pressed, and we call TTS, text to speech, and it says game start with 5 milliseconds, 50 milliseconds, and renew color detect. Renew color detect was the method that I just mentioned in here. So this will just get the random color and it will say the name. Now, while true means this will run continuously, and we detect the color, we pass the color. If the color detect is not equal 0, it means this portion must be true, and this portion, if the color is greater than 100, interesting, 100 piece of color, then we will say well done, and we will wait 50 milliseconds and renew the color. So this will grab a new color. If some key is pressed and the key is equal WSAD, one of the keys, then car moves with a key. We pass the key, because these are for moving, and we will ignore Control C and other key, any other key that is pressed. Only this key will be passed to the function that we mentioned, to the method here, car move, which I explained it, WSAD, and 50 minutes, half a second delay, and then we will stop immediately after half a second, unless we hold it, so the function, the method will come back through the loop, and then we set the key to equal none, so we are allowed to refresh the pressing of key. If the key is equal space, then we need to read this text, look for this color, whatever is a color that is selected randomly from the top, and then again we set the key to none. If the key is equal quit key, then we set this key underscore T, which was defined in here from the target key. Then we print quit and break. So this way, this was a full explanation of the code. And so we have the IP address. Let's use SSH to log in. I've logged in now. Let's cd PICAR-X and then example. I just press tab to auto-complete it, and dir. So we are running this number 12 treasure hunt. Just type sudo python and then 12 dot and then press tab to complete it.
Game start. Look for purple.
So we have the video here, and this is our command, and we can press W to go forward. I'm pressing W, but because the robot, because this is on the table, I don't want to hit anything.
Well done. Look for green.
Because this is now hitting the light at the top, and it's reading that color that you see here. So here, let's put the purple.
Well done. Look for purple.
Again, well done, look for purple, because it's random.
Well done. Look for purple. Well done. Look for blue.
Blue.
Well done. Look for blue.
So it says blue. And
Well done. Look for red.
red. So I'm
Well
giving.
done. Look for orange. Well done. Look for purple.
So as you can see, this will continue like that. So now I will press W. When I press W, it moves forward, and then I have to keep it pressed. You see that small interrupt. So if I press F, it goes backwards, and then D, and then if I press right, this is the D, and S, and then W, like that. So to announce that the key, to announce the color, we just press space.
Look for purple.
It says look for purple. So to exit, just press Ctrl C. Right now we see some kind of color, right? I click here and Ctrl C. Interrupt, still it's not exited. Ctrl C, and then that camera is closed, and the program has ended.
Game start. Look for red. Well done. Look for yellow. 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 Well done. Look for red. Look for red. Look for red. Well done. Look for yellow. Look for yellow. Look for yellow. Well done. Look for red. Well done. Look for blue. Well done. Look for purple. Look for purple. Look for purple. Look for green. Well done. Look for blue. Well done. Look for orange. Well done. Look for blue. Well done. Look for red.
Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next lesson.